Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr.Cygnus. Happy to bring you guys another solo audio commentary for WCReplays.com. You guys go ahead and get the replay pause at the 15-second mark. So basically, my opponent today is Elusive. He is a level 27, or he at least was a level 27 human player. And as for myself, I was, I believe, level 22 at the time of this game. Which isn't particularly too important, being I was like level 26 before that, and after this game I went down to level 18, and now I'm level 27. So hopefully I will make level 30 pretty soon. But we'll see. So let's get into this match actually. Let's get this thing unpaused, and of course you guys are at the 15-second mark, so let's unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. Alright, the map is Glacial Cheese, and Glacial Cheese, of course, because of those arachnid warriors dropping those really abusive items. I'm pretty sure you know it's the Furbog or the Book of the Dead or the Healing Wards or whatever. So basically the general strategy as a human player in this map is to get the Archmage, get a couple footmen, do the quick creep there, grab your item, try and go for a quick expansion if you can. Something along those lines. And as a Night Elf player on this map, usually you go for the Beastmaster or a quick tech. So, of course, I already told you I'm doing a quick tech, and I'm not using the Beastmaster, so we can rule that out. Beastmaster, of course, is generally the only hero that a Night Elf can use that will allow you to creep those arachnid warriors out fast, so you can get that item so your opponent won't be able to take that away from you. But I generally think that the Beastmaster is a pretty sucky hero, because if you know how to counter him, he's basically nothing. He's just a big fat loser. Yeah. So, if you can use Dispel on him and take away his summons, he's basically a big fat ass worthless tank. And he can't really tank that much anyways. So I don't really use him. And of course I use the Demon Hunter, because I'm a Demon Hunter user. So that's what I'm going to be doing. As for my opponent, he is indeed getting the Archmage. And as for myself, I'm getting the Huntress Hall before the tech because, well, at least I used to do this. I don't do this anymore. But you just get the Huntress Hall, get an AP, surround it by moon walls, and basically that keeps footmen out of your base, and you can tech freely. But thanks to the Tower Rush, that's just one way you can take care of this strategy. Usually the Tower Rush is much more effective on smaller maps, but as you will notice, Elusive is indeed going to my creep at the mercenary camp. I guess he's trying to go for either a creep jack or something, maybe catch the Beastmaster, pick off a few archers or something. As for myself, I'm going to go run in and see what's going on at his base. Basically, I do notice upon entering that there is no arcane tower, so basically that's like leaving a welcome doormat on your base there and say, hey, welcome, come kill me. So basically, I'm pretty sure he's creeping because I did see a footman running down there, and I wasn't worried about him attacking because I have that AP. So basically, I'm just picking off as many militia as I can here, denying him the wood and the early game gold. So I do indeed make a mistake by running too far out with my Demon Hunter. I should have actually stayed back inside his base and continued the harassment there. And keeping his workers off of wood and gold is the idea. By me running out of his base to chase weak militia, allows him to continue mining and chopping wood. So that's just one thing I looked over later. Oh, basically the second reason in which I'm doing this replay today is because of the endgame discussion topic today. I'll be talking about improving your game through learning from your mistakes. Basically, this was a keystone game for me. I made quite a few subtle mistakes in this game that I picked up on later that improved my gameplay tremendously. So basically, I'll be sharing that with you guys today also. So, and also, learning from your mistakes in watching your replays is probably the most important thing you could do that would improve your own gameplay. But I'll go more into that later. As for my opponent, he did indeed pick up 2 of those mana stones. Crappy for him, good for me. Basically, the strategy he was probably going for was he wanted to probably get those 2 summon drops and just take a bunch of footmen and those summon items and attack me and just win the game right there. It's a pretty abusive strategy if you ask me, and indeed it is. So right now he's doing the right thing. He's doing a little bit of a harassment with the footmen. He does notice that I am teching, so he's just going to run in there and try and take out as much as he can, constructing buildings or wisps. So he forces me to detonate a couple. He's running to the back of my base, but good thing I have that AP there at the moment, so he's just going to go ahead and run out of the way. I do make the mistake of running too far after that Archmage, but I'm back here to take off any weak footmen that I can. Do notice he has a few weak ones, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and take out as much as I can. He does a smart thing. He runs one off to the side, causing me to chase it down, allowing the other 4 to escape. But I'm going to try and chase them down as best as I can, so I'm going to try and predict the path that they're running, which I do. And I managed to catch up, so I'm going to try and get over there and take out as many of those as I can. As for my opponent, right now he's teching to tier 2, and he has a few riflemen out. I'm chasing down those footmen. I'm teching out tier 3 right now. And right now I kind of do make a mistake. I'm thinking that maybe I can take out this weak footman, but I do kind of stick around a little too long and lose my hero here. You will see it though that I do have a Keeper of the Grove, so what I do is I just entangle a unit here, take out that other weak footman, and that's that. It's more of a preference. Some people prefer Naga, some people prefer Priestess of the Moon. It's all how you like to play. I prefer the Keeper of the Grove if I'm going to go bears, because of course you can entangle a hero and just surround it with bears and beat it down pretty fast. He did kill his own footman back there. Tried to deny me some experience, but I did get the experience anyways because Entangle did the damage at the same time it died, so oh well. Still a pretty smart move though. So Elusive is just going to continue to creep here. 1 footman and 5 archers. Manor King on the way. Mountain King, of course, great for stopping those hero harasses. So right now, I'm pretty much all I have is tier 2 bears, so I'm just continuing the build with the bears. I'm going to try and do a little bit of harassment. By the way, you might want to take note of this, that this is about the best time for a human player to attack a Night Elf who is teching, of course, because all I have is tier 2 bears. And you can probably take a few of those out before I get to tier 3. Stormbolt going off on the Demon Hunter forces me to run away. So that's an end to the harassment right there. Mountain King is the anti-harassment hero. And I'm tier 3 at this point. So right now I'm going to try and get the bear upgrade. As I was saying a minute ago, if you're able to run in there and take out a few of these tier 2 bears, deny me the units, and gain the massive experience that they do give, they're pretty easy to pick off. So that's a good idea. But right now, Elusive is clearing out his expansion. Does have that Flute of Accuracy, adding the boosted damage to his water elementals and his rifles. Pretty nice. Free Priestess of the Moon. And right about now, I have my 5th bear popping out, so I think it's about time I do some power creeping. Usually what you want to do when you're doing a bear tech is to do the harassment early on and do the creeping when you get the bears. So Elusive right now is looking for an expansion. Does notice I have 5 bears, so he's just going to go ahead and retreat. There's no way his army can engage 5 bears, being all he has is 6 rifles, which would get eaten alive. So he does a smart thing and backs off here. And as for myself, I'm getting a few dryads. I did notice he had rifles and foots, so I was expecting sorceress and priests about now. But you will notice that Elusive is doing something a little different this game. Instead of getting priests and sorceress, he is indeed putting up 2 griffin aviaries. And in case you did not know this, griffins counter bears, rifles counter dryads. So that's basically what he's doing. He's taking a little bit of a risk here. The risk factor is the fact that I have 5 bears and dryads, and all I have to do is attack him, and I could probably win the game right here. But one of the other mistakes I make this game is I was not scouting. I didn't have any scout wisps around the map, and I'm not putting any effort to looking around for any expansions right now, and any techs or anything, so that was pretty much a disadvantage that I wasn't aware of at the time. Probably because I was feeling pretty confident in the fact that I hadn't lost to any human players in a very long time at this point. And I have pretty powerful bears with the armor upgrade, and now I'm putting up an expansion, so I was feeling pretty confident. So I wasn't really too worried. I was just concentrating on doing some power creepings at the moment. As for my opponent, his job is mainly to stay away from me as long as possible so that he can get as many griffins out and probably surprise me later on in the game. So that's exactly what he's doing. Adding a few priests to his army. He's going to head up the map and towards that big red creep with a level 10 big fat ass creep right there. That's a big one right there. It drops some pretty bomb ass items. It drops the Mask of Death, which is it's an alright item. The Crown of Kings is a really good item, and of course the Tome of Power. Now that is one badass item. Just imagine having a level 5 Mountain King and you pick up the Tome of Power, you get a level 6 Mountain King, because the Tome of Power gives you a free level. Pretty good item. So as for myself, I'm doing a little bit of creeping here, killing those shamans, hitting level 3 and the 2 level 3 heroes, pick up a spiked collar. It's an okay item. As for Elusive, he's doing some massive creeping here on that big creep right there. It goes down. He picks up a Tome of the. He picks up a Crown of the Kings. Really good item. +5 to everything. Basically an all-around good item to have on any hero. So he finishes up there, and of course I head up there a little too late. Too late for the creepjack. So he does a smart thing and just TP's out right here. I do a little bit of a mana burn on the Mountain King. Doesn't really affect him too much, being he has a mana stone and brilliance aura, so he's gonna get that mana back pretty fast anyways. As for myself, I'm continuing my ignorance this game, and instead of attacking at this point, I'm just going to continue creeping. So, go ahead, do your thing there. So, anyways, as for my opponent, Elusive has those griffins coming out pretty soon. He has 3. He's going to try and put up an expansion. He's just scouting around.
Your building is complete.
And as for myself, my expansion is up and running now at this point.
Your building is complete.
And I have level 3 Demon Hunter, level 3 Keeper.
Research finished.
He has a level 4 Archmage and a level 3 Mountain King.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Alright, so he does a little bit of harassment using those griffins to focus fire on my tree, but unfortunately, I used my teleport scroll opposed to just running up there, being I was so close anyways. So I overreacted. Yet another mistake of mine. So here I am stuck at my expansion, just idle, while my opponent continues to creep. So one thing you might want to note to yourself also is never stand idle. So that's another thing I picked up on as I watched the replay. And my opponent right now has rifles, priests, griffins, and I still have the typical bear, dryads, and now I'm adding some fairy dragons. Putting up a couple APs, keep those griffins out of my expansion, and my opponent has his expansion up and running. So, at this point, I have thoroughly allowed my opponent to mass up tier 3 counters to my units and get an expansion. So, that's what happens when you don't scout. As for myself, I'm finally attacking at this point. Griffin's flying around doing a little bit of scouting. At this point, I do see those griffins flying in the corner, so I'm fully aware he has griffins. So, at this point, I'm going to look for an expansion. So he runs out of the way there. And I run up the hill. Do notice there's an expansion, so I go ahead and head up the hill with my bears. 2 to the armor upgrade, 1 to the attack upgrade. Pretty powerful. He runs his griffins over, notices I have dryad, so he runs out of the way. And Elusive brings his army down to where I'm at. So his idea is going to try and defend this, he's not actually going to try and defend this, expansion of his, because obviously it gets taken down. What he's trying to do is he's trying to trap me up inside this little, hill right here. He is at the disadvantage, that is true, he is down the hill. But then again, he has the perfect counter to my whole army. Griffin's focus firing my bears, taking all my bears out pretty effectively. I'm using no dispel on those water elementals, focus firing the wrong units, and generally allowing my heroes to be focus fired. So Griffin's focus firing my demon hunter, and of course I burned that scroll of town portal before, so now I have no portal scroll, 2 weak heroes, no bears, and dryads. Demon hunter goes down. Keeper of the Grove being focused right now, and Keeper goes down pretty soon. Keeper goes down, so now I'm left with dryads and fairy dragons and nothing else. So basically, I learned that don't ever engage your opponent unless you have a teleport scroll. Better yet, don't ever engage up a hill when you have no ways of escaping. So that was a pretty huge mistake of mine that pretty much cost me the game, or at least severely put me behind. So right now Elusive is adding knights to his army, pretty smart, being as I am adding mountain giants. Pretty much my only choice right now, being he has griffins, and there's nothing I can really do about those griffins. If the rifles keep shooting down my dryads and my fairy dragons, you know, they're actually pretty good counter to griffins, but they don't really do that much heavy damage. So then again, they are immune to magic, so hand in hand there. He does lose a griffin to my AP, but then again, it doesn't really matter, being he has an expansion going up pretty soon, and I'm losing mine. So basically, I lost my entire army and my expansion, and he has the advantage here because he still at least has an army and his heroes, and he's putting up a new expansion. But I do the smart thing though, is I do start construction on a new tree up in that neutral expanding area, generally because I didn't expect him to think I was going to do that, so I did it anyways, hoping he wouldn't notice it. So he does notice I do indeed have mountain giants, dryads, and fairy dragons, so he's going to run out of the way. There's no real point in engaging my army at this point, being that he clearly has the advantage. All he has to do is hold on to the advantage and wait this one out. So that's exactly what he's going to do. Level 5.5 Archmage, level 5 Mountain King. Pretty much
Research finished.
all he needs to do is wait this one out. Pretty smart move. As for myself, I'm just trying to do the best I can to counter what he has. I do notice he doesn't have any breakers, so I go ahead and build another bear so I can use the rejuvenation and roar freely. I do have the fairy dragons, which is good for countering those casters, and the mountain giants, of course, as the 8 armor allows it to become a pretty heavy tank. But then again, my opponent, capitalizing on the fact that I'm cowering and whatever, afraid, just chilling in my base real quick. Can't talk for shit right now. He's just doing a little bit of creeping, seeing if he can pick up a few good items. He discontinued productions of the griffins, of course, because now that I have that anti-magic units, all he has to do is just move right to knights and get the counter to my counter.
Our gold mine is running low.
My tree going up, building some wisps, trying to get some gold. And as for my keeper just popping out right about now. So basically I know that he's at a severe advantage. He's putting up a second expansion at my tree, so basically all I can really do at this point is try and keep that tree alive as long as possible so that I can get that gold and try and, you know, tip the scales in my favor once again.
Your building.
So he's going up there to take that tree down. No upgrades in the knights, no upgrades on the rifles. Then again, he has a very diverse army. So right now he's focusing down that tree. I'm fully aware that there's no way I'm going to be able to save that tree, so I'm just thinking whether I should jump into this battle right now or not. But I say, what the hell, why not? So I cast Roar. Notice he does have his Archmage out in the back line, so I'm going to go ahead and focus down on that with the Dryads. Cast Rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter, fully aware that it's going to be focused pretty soon. Stormbolt goes off on Demon Hunter, Rejuvenation takes care of that. Archmage goes down through Entangle. And I turn around, I'm in a very bad position, so basically I do see his Mountain King sticking out, so I think I'm going to try and focus down on that. I use Taunt to redirect the damage back to my Mountain Giants, but he micros that out pretty well. Bear goes down. Second bear being focused on. I'm Demon Hunter about ready to die, so I'm forced to use the TP. So unfortunately, I'm forced to leave my expansion to him, so it goes down. And I'm pretty much sure that I've lost this game at this point, being the fact that he has 2 expansions up. I have insignificant heroes. He has like a level 5 Mountain King, and all I have is a level 4 Demon Hunter and a level 4 Keeper of the Grove. So he has the hero advantage at this point, the gold advantage at this point. He has the perfect unit counters. But then again, you should never give up, so my mine expires, so basically I'm going to try and uproot my tree and see if I can take that free gold mine at my natural, and at least try and see if I can work out some kind of miracle at this point in the game. And Elusive, trying to secure the victory here, is going to go ahead and try and scout for my expansion. I run my Wisp over to the area and he does notice that, so he takes a couple Griffin over there. He's going to go ahead and take those down pretty fast. And I'm going to try and defend that. At least try and take that hill and see if I can get my tree up there in time. So, but then again, I do notice he's got an army there waiting for me. So basically, this is my last ditch effort to win this game. So I detonate the casters, run over to his Mountain King, try and focus down on his Mountain King as best I can to see if I can at least take that out. If I can take his hero out, maybe I can force him to retreat. So at least buy me some time to try and build up some sort of an army. So he's running it out of the way. So focus fire from the Fairy Dragons and the Mountain King. I mean the Mountain Giants and the Mana Burn and the Entangle. So Mountain King is one hell of a tank. But he does go down, so Mountain King goes down. But then again, I do see an Archmage right there, so I'm thinking, oh crap, better try and take that down too. So focus fire and the Archmage goes off. So Entangle, Mana Burn, more damage being dealt to my armies. I'm trying to take it down. So Archmage goes down. I hit level 5 on both heroes, but unfortunately, I lost my whole army in the process. So now I have a couple half-dead Mountain Giants, Fairy Dragons, which are useless, and a half-dead Demon Hunter and actually a dead Demon Hunter at this point, and a dead Keeper of the Grove. Avatar goes off. He hits level 7. Good game. Well, basically, I'm sure you guys noticed quite a few mistakes that I made during this game, and that's the whole point of the commentary. But right now, I'm just going to go over the general strategies in which human can counter the bear tech strategy. Basically, the first one, which I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of, is a tower rush. So on the smaller maps, usually if you can run in with a few militia, a couple footmen, you can get yourself a Naga Sea Witch, because a Naga basically counters that boots of speed. You can get up a few towers in time and just take out that hero pretty fast, and pretty much takes care of that. But on a bigger map, usually a tower rush is not the choice, being it takes too long to get there, and you won't be able to get those towers up in time, and the second hero will be popping, and probably a few dryads. So your best choice on a bigger map would probably be a quick expansion. If you can take a few militia, just run out to your natural, get a fast expand up there, pump mass riflemen and casters, attack at tier 2, that's the best way to go. Mass casters and rifles, you can cast slow on the bears, and of course, being it's pretty early in the game, you won't have enough bears out in time. You can just stormbolt, focus fire, take those out pretty fast. Being you have an expansion, you can basically just outproduce. And of course, the third strategy, which you basically saw in this game, was a tech 2 Griffins, casters, rifle, counter dryads, and bears pretty good. So basically, I think it's time to move on to the endgame discussion now that I got that out of the way. Basically, improving your game, i.e. learning from your mistakes. Usually, after you play a game and lose, generally you get pretty pissed off, so the best thing to do is to take a break right after you lose, and just save your replay. Try and save your replay like a learning experience, or check this out or something like that. Don't name it something like I lost to a noob, I suck, something that's gonna piss you off again later. So just name it something like that, and go back to it later. Generally, you should probably go make yourself a sandwich or something, or go grab a drink, or go have a whatever. Go call a friend on the phone or something. Basically, get your mind off of it, and when you're ready to come back, that's when you load up the replay. Load it up on 1x speed, and here's what you're going to look for. Basically, when you're reviewing your game, you're going to want to look for one of the three things that you probably made a mistake in. It's either a micro-macro issue, It's either a strategy issue, or it's either a timing issue, or it might be all of these. So when you're loading up the game, take the fog of war off. Don't just concentrate on your own mistakes, but try and look at see what your opponent's doing. You want to look for creeping patterns. You want to look for weaknesses. You want to see when your opponent's vulnerable, when you're vulnerable. That's what has to do with timing. For example, a perfect example of this is when you're playing a Night Elf versus Orc matchup. Night Elf generally has the upper hand in the game at the very beginning. You can have the early Huntress, and the Huntress generally are probably the best Tier 1 unit at the beginning of the game. Allows you to do the faster creeping, the better harassment, but then again, right after that nightfall is over and the second daybreak, that's generally when the Orc has the advantage, and that's when you'll notice that most tower rushes take place at the first daybreak, because of course, Orc is a Tier 2, has Demolishers. Demolishers perfectly counter Huntress or any unarmored units. So at the daybreak, of course, you can't hide and you can't use your Moonwells after they're all sapped up. So basically you get towered, and that's a pretty hard strategy to counter. But I will get into that in another commentary. Hope this helps you guys improve your gameplay. Hope you guys start to learn from your mistakes, try out new ideas, and we'll see what's up with that. Alright guys, thanks a lot for listening, and you guys will be hearing from me later. Alright, peace.